Hello and welcome to the ScareTrack live episode. It is here, Mikey from the ScareTrack podcast, and I am joined with Calum Beckett. Calum, how's it going, buddy?
I'm very good, mate. Thank you very much.
Good, good. Have I asked you that before tonight?
Maybe once or twice, I can't remember.
Once or twice. If anyone's watching this later, we've had a whole bunch of technical difficulties, but we are here now. We are back in action. Calum has the coolest mug in the world. And let's go. Let's give this a little bash. Now, in case anyone doesn't know, we have actually interviewed Calum a couple of times here on ScareTrack. We've done it on the podcast, and you guys can still check out those podcasts on our audio platform. Go to scaretrack.co.uk or listen to it on any podcast platform. But we've also interviewed him on the ScareTrack couch as well, where we had a cool little in-studio chat all about screamcamp. So you can learn a lot more about screamcamp on that, youtube.com/ScareTrack. We're going to dip into a little bit of screamcamp and the ritual tonight, but we're going to mainly be talking about the retreat, aren't we, Calum? A brand new event that you guys are in the middle of creating.
Created,
complete, big tick.
Completed, big tick, done. As of 5 AM last night.
So it was a long night for you.
It was a long night, but it's done. It's in the bag. The event, like I said, we'll touch on it later, but it's unique, it's different, and there's nothing like it in the UK. I don't think there's anything like it worldwide. Don't quote me on that, but I know for a definite for the UK, it's a unique, brand new thing, which is going to turn a few heads.
Yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait to do it. I'm gonna be going as one of your guinea pigs as soon as lockdown is over and we're allowed to obviously do that sort of thing. So I'm very, very excited. Hello to everyone who's joining us here on Instagram as well. We're going to be doing a few questions with Calum now over the next sort of 20-30 minutes. But if you do have any questions, we'll try and get them in throughout. And if we can't get them there, we'll ask the questions at the end as well, just in case we miss it as you're scrolling up. But first of all, Calum, a little bit of your backstory. You've been in the industry for quite a while. It's not like you've just joined this industry as soon as ScreamCamp started last year, 2019. So you kind of know your stuff. You've been to a handful of ScareCons. You've got quite a passion for the industry anyway, haven't you?
Yeah, indeed, yeah. I love this industry. I have done for many years. Obviously started off going to attractions back in the early 2009, I think was my first one, 2008, 2009, and then obviously joined Scare Kingdom a few years later after that, and obviously then spent quite a few years at Scare Kingdom until I left there, and then obviously created ScreamCamp in 2018.
Yeah, so ScreamCamp was created, and that's where you guys came onto the scene, kicking and screaming, really. Before we go any further, I need to congratulate you and your whole team for winning a Scar Award at the Scare Awards at ScareCon for the best, was it the best out-of-season Scare attraction? Yeah,
best out-of-season event for 2019, which
round of applause
took us a little bit by surprise, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, it was a surprise getting a nomination. I mean, not that we didn't think our event deserved a nomination, just for the sole feedback that we got as an event. And we thought, you know what, we probably deserve a nomination. But when it came to the actual award, we didn't hold up any hope. So when obviously we was awarded best out of season, it was a big shock. And to be honest with you, I was just more delighted for my team because they put so many hours and long nights and cold nights and into ScreamCamp, and the dedication my team showed was some of the best I've seen from any acting in the industry and dedication to a certain event. And to get that, it was for them, not me. It was for them, and I'm so happy for my team that we managed to do that last year. So
definitely. And you can tell it's a big group effort, a big team effort. You all wear your heart on your sleeve, blood, sweat and tears go into that event. And like you say, if anyone's not too sure, like I say, you can go back and check out the interviews we've done with Calum about ScreamCamp. We even did an on-location ScreamCam episode from there as well, ScareCam episode from ScreamCamp, so you can check out the madness that goes on. But it is a 10-hour long overnight experience. It's not just a few hours. It's not, and it doesn't let up. There's always a constant event, whether it's going off with the boss and the murderers to do an activity or a task. I don't want to give too much away about the event, or whether you're back at camp having just a laugh, a game, a horror story, or a toasted marshmallow. The event is a constant, isn't it? There's never, Lee boy, don't worry, we won't put any spoilers. It just doesn't stop. Like once you arrive there, was it 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock? I can't remember now.
9 PM until 7 AM.
There you go. So it's a long night, the full 10 hours. And that's got to be quite a creative difficulty to sort of think, how am I going to fill that amount of time to keep these people entertained throughout a whole night?
Probably the most one of the difficult things is trying to keep people, like you say, entertained for 10 hours. It's not easy. It's not easy, and that's why we kind of built a lot of scares in Scream Camp, a lot of psychological scares, a lot of testing, putting people's fears into practice, and then the opposite side. So 1 minute you're doing something. I'm not going to put any spoilers in for people that haven't done it, but 1 minute you're doing something, for example, and then, which is on the scare side, and then next minute you're around camp toasting a marshmallow, having a laugh with your friend, and then it's just it's a contrast of emotions. Scream Camp. 1 minute you're up here, 1 minute you're down here, 1 minute you're in the middle, 1 minute you're laughing, 1 minute you're screaming. So, as an all-round event, it's good fun. It's good fun. If you like being scared, but like hanging out with your friends as well and having a good night and doing something unique and different, then Scream Camp is definitely something to give a go.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you got to take into account that it is an overnight event and it is a whole package. You're not just going into a maze and then coming out and whatnot. While we're talking about Scream Camp, by the way, guys, if anyone does have any questions, let us know, or like I say, bring them to us at the end. Scream Camp, where did the whole idea come? Like, you could have gone, let's do an event, which is a few hours in an evening, then they can all go home and I can get toasty back in my bed. What made you think, let's do something that is completely overnight, a full 10 hours?
To be different, to do something that's never been done before in the UK. And I was literally sat on a park bench in Florida during Halloween Horror Nights of 2018, I think it was, 2018 Halloween Horror Nights. Thought of the idea, discussed it. I thought I'd love to do an overnight event, be cool to do a camping event. And then I was with, obviously, Frankie at the time, and we just kind of threw ideas back and forth to each other and thought, you know what, this could actually work. So I thought, you know what, I love the industry. I want to have my own event. So I thought, how can I enter the market with my own event and make something that's unique and different for people that are going to come and go, I've never done anything like this before. Yeah. So that's what I aim to do, and we managed to do that successfully, and incredibly, it worked out. And
the event sold out pretty sharpish as well, didn't it?
Like I say, we was at Halloween Horror Nights in September of 2018, and then threw a few bits together, built the website, wrote the show, put tickets on sale, I think middle of October, and then 2 weeks later, fully sold out the show. That was 10 shows in total. We had to add a couple more dates on as well because demand went that high. Tickets were just going left, right, and centre. We were just like, what the hell is going on here? We just couldn't believe it, especially for an event that kind of no one's ever really done before, or doesn't really know what it was, apart from you going and you're camping and it's a horror experience. Like, no one really knew much more than that, to be honest. We never really give away much of a story or what they're going to do when they actually get to the event. So to get the reception that it received and to sell those tickets out so quickly, it was a proud moment, to say the least. It was good.
Definitely. And with Scream Camp as well, it's on the cusp of, it's definitely not an extreme event, but it's sort of on the cusp of quite intense and quite forced, isn't it? How, if there's people here now and people are saying that it sounds epic, they were supposed to be there this weekend, but obviously due to reasons beyond our control, that things like that can't happen right now. But was it a conscious effort to make sure that this isn't an extreme event as such, but it's a little bit more than just a boo style event?
Yeah, like we've touched on this in the past. Like, I wanted to create an event that is in the middle between a boo horn, a standard boo horn, as we like to call it sometimes, a boo horn and an extreme attraction. We want something in the middle where someone can step a little bit outside their comfort zone to be touched around and moved a little bit, and to be scared in terms of what's going to happen to me next, sort of thing. So not walking around the corner and thinking when someone's going to jump out on me. Not those sort of scares. This is a completely different element of scares completely. But like I say, I didn't want to create an extreme event. I've done extreme events. I've worked in extreme events. I know what extreme events are. I know what extreme events do. And there's nothing in Scream Camp which comes close to what extreme events do. Like I said, there's no stress positions. There's no waterboarding. There's no forced horrible eating. There's none of that at Scream Camp. It's fun. It's scary. There's parts to it where you'll think, oh no,
Yeah.
of thing. But that's what they said. You're coming to get scared. That's the whole point. You're coming to get scared.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a safe word for the evening, but it's a safe word for sections, isn't it, as well? So if there's a section that you're particularly thinking, I can't get through this, I'm going to have to safe word.
Yeah.
You can safe word, but then just go to camp and wait for the next bit of intense stuff, couldn't you?
Correct, yeah, because obviously things happen in stages throughout Scream Camp, throughout the evening, and obviously if someone gets to a certain task and they don't feel like they can do it, whatever that may be a fear of theirs, whether it may be claustrophobia, it could be heights, it could be, there's certain elements of Scream Camp that could involve things like that. So we do give people the option to go, I'm out of this, but they'll go back to camp, and then the next time a task arises, they can come back and they can do that. It doesn't mean if they safe word, it doesn't mean the night is ended for them. It basically means that one task will end for them, so they don't have to go through it. So you don't have to do something if you don't want to do, but it doesn't mean the night's ended for you if you do safe word.
Yeah, definitely. So people don't have to be worried about getting their money's worth and it can't safe word because it ends the show. It just continues. Which like I said, when myself and Martin from ScareTrack visited and we experienced Scream Camp, that was a bonus for us. Although I don't think any of us did. I don't think we did safe word. I was close to it at one point. Jeez, I was close. But no, I was good. I was good. Leroy says, I will never use the safe word. There you go. That's it. Callum, make sure Leroy
to be honest with you,
the safe word.
If I'm being honest, I don't want people to use the safe word. I don't like people using the safe word. I want them to experience every single bit of it. But to be honest with you, because it's a general public event and because obviously extreme events and those sort of things are tied to a specific market that kind of know what they're coming to do, with Scream Camp, it does take people out of the comfort zone from a standard horn. So some people are expecting some of the things that happen. So some things are a bit too much for some people. So that's the reason why we give the safe word. But we have people that have come. You know what? I've conquered my fears. We loved it. Scariest thing we've ever done. But I overcame my fear of X, for example. So it's good, and anyone can come to it. We had elderly people come to it. I say elderly, I'm talking like late 50s people come to it. We had people that were 18 come to it. So it stretches out, and anyone can come and have a good time. Yeah,
definitely. It's definitely you can have a broad market of people, and they're all going to be able to do it and get something out of it. Anna H4 says that you can have a little nap as well. Granted, they have got tents, but I didn't nap. Although whoever did get nap,
one person managed to nap, and that was Alan. And he didn't nap for long because Shadow turned his tent upside down.
There we go. Don't nap. Don't take a sleeping bag. There's no point because you're not going to nap. Awesome. Right, let's move on a little bit from Scream Camp. Like I say, guys, if you do want to find out more information about Scream Camp, before this episode ends, we'll give you all the information on how to get onto the website and social media and whatnot anyway. But
let me just say one thing. On terms of Scream Camp, because obviously I've not really done anything live in terms of this since we've stopped the event. Obviously we put a post out, etc. But however, people that obviously have tickets for the event, if you are watching this, you basically can change those tickets to a later day in the year. If obviously, touch wood, it doesn't happen, but if for some reason we can't go ahead with the show this year, if you have got a ticket, it will carry on to next year's show. So you can use your ticket to next year as well. Okay, so obviously we're missing it as much as you guys are probably frustrated that you can't come and do it. But we'll try and get it back up and running as soon as it's safe to do so.
Yeah, perfect. There you go, guys. So just hold on to your tickets, whether it be later this year or next year. Obviously, it's an event which is a quite close and personal event, so got to wait until the rules and regulations are back in order for you to actually be able to do the event, isn't it? So awesome. Hold on to your tickets, guys. The next thing that I want to talk about, just quickly, briefly on, because only a select amount of people got to do it, and it was an awesome piece of theatre. The Ritual, Scream Camp, The Ritual. It was 2 nights only over at Halloween. Very different style event compared to Scream Camp. It was like a few-hour event in the evening, more of an immersive theatre piece. It was like a complete opposite to Scream Camp. What made you want to do something totally different yet again?
Because we've got a lot of people in the team that are very theatrical, creative people, and we obviously Scream Camp does have a storyline to it. However, it's not a massive storyline because it's quite difficult to keep a storyline up for 10 hours and to keep it running for 10 hours. So there is a storyline to it, so there is a motive to what is happening. However, we obviously we wanted to create a special, which is obviously that was our Halloween special. So the ritual was our Halloween special in October last year. We did it for 2 nights for a select 15 shows per night. It was on a Friday and a Saturday, and they both went in like, I think about an hour and a half. They both sold out in. So it was an only 4-hour show, but we wanted to create something which was a lot more story led, but something that we could think, right, okay, there is theatrical performance companies out there that do these sort of events, but we wanted to create something which was completely different again. So we always want to go different. We always want to do things unique. We want to do things that haven't been done before. And again, the ritual was something which has never been done before. We touched on, you know, some very 21st century issues, which could have gone one way or another. We wanted to kind of, you know, face what we're actually experiencing as a collective at the moment. You know, obviously there's a lot of, obviously, I won't go into it fully, because if you want to look at that, go on ScareTrack and look at their podcast. There you go, plug.
Thanks very much. Thanks.
But yeah.
And like I say, if you've got any questions for me and Calum as well, for either ScareTrack or ScreamCamp, wait till the end and we can go through those as well. But yeah, it was amazing, the ritual. A fantastic event, immersive theatre at its finest. Again, don't want to talk too much about it because it was it's sort of an event that is like a fight club. It's sort of like, first rule of Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club. It's sort of like the ritual. People that go to the ritual, don't talk about the ritual. But it was great. It was fantastic. But hello to everyone else who is joining us here on Instagram Live as well. Hello to Stocks TV from Germany. Hello, the scariest member of the resistance you'll ever meet. Twice the size of me. And we're going to check out Stocks TV while we're here. Hello to Ashley. Hello to Sherry Sumner. Right, so we've got lots of people joining us. Calum, let's put you on the spot and let's talk about the main event. A brand new event that, again, has sold out, unfortunately. But, guys, it's fantastic for you. But anyone watching who wants to buy a ticket, hold out for now, because you never know. There may be some more tickets out if you guys do it again in the future. But let's talk about the retreat. Now, I'm terrified. I don't know if anyone else saw the video we put online earlier of Scarecrow. The poster reveal looked awesome as well. Let people know, obviously spoiler free, what kind of event the retreat is.
So I'm going to go out there on a limb. I'm going to say that the retreat will be scarier than ScreamCamp.
ScreamCamp was pretty damn scary, mate.
Yeah. Completely different side of, on the scale. You know, there's different types of scares. This is a completely different type of scare to ScreamCamp.
Yeah.
Completely different type. It's something which has never been done before, never been touched on before. It's an overnight event, so you'll be picked up by your friendly Uber driver at 8 o'clock in the evening. You'll be taken and driven to your accommodation for the evening. On arrival at your accommodation, you'll have your food ready for you. You'll have a list of horror movies you can watch. You'll have some popcorn, and you'll be left to your own devices. What happens from there, I can't say. However, we're setting the scene. So it's a horror movie experience. That's what the retreat is. It's like living your own horror movie as close as you can get. That is what I'll say.
And I'm pretty nervous. Like I say, we've already met Scarecrow via video. I've checked out. Stephen says, is there a hot tub there?
There's a bath.
There's a bath. Great, we can have a bath. People are saying it's awesome, and popcorn, and yeah, people are loving this idea of the retreat. I'm loving the idea of going to a nice. I'm guessing the venue is nice if it's a bath. You know,
I didn't say that.
True, but we're going to a venue. We're watching a film. We're having our popcorn. We're having our microwave meal, and then all of a sudden you live in a horror movie. Now it sounds terrifying. The fact that it's scarier than ScreamCamp as well. I'm quite nervous. And like I say, people are asking in the comments where to get tickets from. They can't right now, obviously, because the first batch have sold out, haven't they? Is there potential for it to come back? If this goes so well, you might do it again?
So the plan of action is, obviously, we put on, I think it was 13 shows for back end of this year, and for next year from January till April. They sold out in half an hour. Now, we were shocked, but we weren't shocked because we know that people who have bought the tickets know what we can do as a creative team. So again,
seen Scream Camp, they've seen the ritual, yeah.
Exactly. That's them putting their trust in us as a creative team, knowing or thinking we're going to create a good show. And that means a lot. So everyone who's bought a ticket, thank you very much. You won't be let down, and you'll certainly remember this for quite some years to come. But yeah, we're planning on, fingers crossed, things going to plan. We're going to be running it, obviously, from Halloween night is our first night. We have a couple of pre-shows prior to that, but our official first night is 31st of October. We will then run twice a month up until, well, twice a month, I think it's 3 times in November, but twice a month up until April. And then obviously Scream Camp will then start up again in May for the summer. And then it will run through to September. And obviously all going well, feedback, etc., has gone to plan. We will probably pawn tickets for end of 2021 for the retreat.
Awesome. So it can be like a few months retreat, then Scream Camp, and then sort of mix over. It sounds good. Ashley Marcy's asking if there's any auditions going for Scream Camp. I guess things like that at the moment are kind of on hold purely because of the whole coronavirus thing.
Correct, yeah. I mean, we always look to expand our team. We never put a closed block on thinking, right, these are the people we've got, this is what we're keeping. No, we're always looking for new blood. So yeah, I mean, obviously just drop the Scream Camp page a message, and obviously once things go back up and running and we get back to obviously some sort of normality and we can obviously start Scream Camp up again, then obviously just come and we can see what you like. Because obviously scare actors, it's a different type of scare actor we look for. Not every scare actor can do what we do. For the sole reason it's a hands-on event. We've had a couple of scare actors that have come, and they just can't handle the intensity because it is hard work. If you are acting at Scream Camp, it is hard work. It's wind, it's rain, it's shine, it's cold,
wet, cold, windy.
It's really hard work, really hard work. But that's why I have so much respect for my team, because of what they put themselves through to create Scream Camp. That's why I will always hold everyone that's stuck with Scream Camp. I will hold them in high regard, and that's why I said to you before that the award I dedicate to my team, because of what they put themselves through to create the event, which turned into an award-winning event. So, yeah.
Awesome. And Ashley's asking again, what are the requirements? I think the best thing is, whilst anyone else is thinking of any last-minute questions before we say goodbye to Calum, let everyone, including Ashley here, who's asking the questions about joining the team, how can they find more information about Scream Camp, whether it be to buy tickets, whether it be joining the team, to give you a message? What's all the Scream Camp socials? Yeah,
any question you've got for Scream Camp or anything about any jobs or anything like that, just ping us over an email at info@screamcamp.co.uk, or just drop us a message on the Facebook page. Just go onto Facebook and search for Scream Camp and you'll see us pop up at the top. So any questions you've got, literally just fire them across to us and I'll get them answered for you straight away.
Perfect. And that goes for anyone else as well who has a question but doesn't want to be called out here on Instagram Live. Anything you want to know regarding Scream Camp, over on the email or Facebook. And obviously on other social media as well, like Twitter and Instagram too as well. So, and we always put the links to those guys whenever we're releasing any sort of concept art or videos, like we got the other night from Scarecrow.
Just want to say, because whoever comes to the retreat, you're in for a treat. Put it that way. I'm so excited for you to experience it.
I'm nervous, guys. I'm nervous.
Put it this way. We've rehearsed it, and we were scared.
That terrifies me.
So put it that way. It's on a different scale to anything. I'm not saying in terms of it's better than anything. I'm talking in terms of what it is. It's completely different to anything you've done before or would probably experience again in the future. It's completely different. You're led into many false senses of security, and just don't get too comfortable on your couch watching your horror movie.
We've chose was it Scream we've chose? So
yeah, you've chosen Scream. So obviously what will happen is, for people who've bought tickets, so a bit of not a spoiler, but a bit of an insight. Before your show, you're going to be sent an email asking you what food you want. You'll be able to get sent a list of food. You'll get sent a list of drinks, and you'll also be sent a list of horror movies. You can pick. Obviously, there's 2 guests obviously per show. I don't know if we touched on that.
No. So it's an event where it's literally just you and your partner going there, isn't it? Yeah, just
2 guests. Yeah, 2 guests per show, and that's why it's so unique, because it's literally just your 2 of you. So there's no strength in numbers. There's no 3, 4, 5 of you. there's 2 of you, and that's it. So you both get to choose a meal each, and then you get to choose a list of DVDs. You get to pick one that you want left for you to watch. So yeah.
I'm nervous. We've had a few people comment here, so I'm just going to go a few of these last few comments before we
go through some questions, Mikey.
Right. So obviously, Ashley's saying what are the requirements, and we're saying anyone who wants to know the requirements, basically just
you have to be 18.
You have to be 18. Andy Longmore says you're not wrong. The rehearsals were terrifying. I'm so nervous. Calum, is your hairline receding? Thanks, Alan Higster. So nasty. Calum, lovely, beautiful guy with that gorgeous blonde locks of hair.
Leave my hair alone, mate. I need a haircut. This lockdown is doing me in.
Hannah did mine. I think she did a good job. Lee Boy's saying we're excited to experience it. Is there any nudity involved in the retreat? Is another question.
No.
No nudity. Oh, take the ticket away. I'm joking.
Yeah.
So no, there's nothing explicit or anything like that. Who else have we got? Stephen says he's going to bring his brown pants. Anna can't wait for the retreat. And Higster's giving you lots of love now with lots of hearts.
Ashley Marshy says, how much are the tickets for the retreat? They were, obviously they're sold out now, they were £100 each. So it was 2 tickets. So basically you had to buy a night, because you have to know the person you come with. Because obviously we put the 2 tickets on sale. So instead of doing just individual tickets so people could buy one, you had to buy a night. So one night was 200 quid. So it was basically technically 100 quid a person.
Yeah. So it's a more prestige attraction as such. It's not 10 or 20 quid, but you got to think as well. You're staying overnight somewhere, so you've got the meal, you've got a bed, and also we didn't touch on it before we go. There will be an element where you can actually sleep as well. It's not like it's all going on 24/7. You can sleep at certain points as well.
Correct. Yeah, you can sleep. You're having food provided for you. You're having accommodation provided for you. You're having the event provided for you. You're having some sort of travel sorted for you, because you are meeting at a rendezvous point, and from that point you're being picked up and taken to your location. So you are getting some sort of travel, and obviously you're getting fed, watered, etc. So
you're getting bang for your buck, and you're getting a whole immersive, never before seen here in the UK, maybe even the world style of event as well.
Correct.
Awesome. I think that touches up on everything really. I want to say a huge thank you to Calum for coming on. Sorry about the technical issues we had earlier.
Don't worry about it.
The last question before we go, Anna says, does the film you choose have any bearing on the event? Who knows? And Levi saying, will the pickup point be safe for the car? This was my question to Calum as well. If I'm leaving my car somewhere, is it nice and safe?
Yes. So basically it is, so we've spoken to a garden centre, and they give us permission to use one of their front parking. It's the security guard on the site overnight, so there's no issue with the cars, and plus other people park there as well and stuff. So yeah,
that's all nice and safe.
All nice and safe.
I can't wait. I'm mega nervous. And guys, obviously we'll do a ScareCamp episode, a full podcast episode about it as well. And obviously we're going as soon as we're allowed to be guinea pigs for these guys. So I'm excited. Calum, I'm nervous. But thank you as ever for coming on to ScareTrack. Always appreciate it. And
you're welcome, buddy.
See you soon.
You're welcome. Have a good evening, mate.
All right. Thanks so much. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.